Good evening, everyone. You welcome to the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. In our top stories, the pioneer public independence conciliator for the Southwest region, Madame Dorothy Motaze, has been officially installed into her functions today in Boya, chieftain of the Southwest region. She took the oath into office at the Boya Court of Appeal. What are the responsibilities awaiting Madame Motaze Dorothy? You will hear more in this edition of the newscast. We also talk about three Christians of a church in Limbe, Southwest region, who were abducted recently by unknown gunmen. They have finally been released after the armed men demanded them to pay a ransom of 600,000 francs CFA. The pastor, senior pastor of that church, comes out of his shell to shed more light on circumstances surrounding their kidnapping. He knows that they were kidnapped after a long-standing land dispute between the church and the neighboring village. Also, the population of Limbe, the Mungu division of the Little Wild region, manifested barricading roads over the construction of poor drainage channels in that locality. They were appeased by the senior divisional officer who went talking to them before tension or calm could reign. Those were top stories. More in this newscast. Good evening once again. You welcome to the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. First, we begin with news concerning the armed conflicts in the two English-speaking regions of the country. To say the pioneer public independence conciliator, Madame Dorothy Motaze, has been officially installed into her functions. She took the oath into office in Boya, notably at the Boya Court of Appeal. What are the responsibilities awaiting her in order to bring calm or normalcy in the Southwest region? Derek Jotto took part during that official installation of Madame Dorothy Motaze. He compiled this report.
The team is now complete as Madame Dorothy Motaze takes the oath of office at the Court of Appeal in Boya, the Southwest Regional Capital, as the public independent conciliator of the Southwest region.
I, Dorothy Atabon, spouse, Motaze, do solemnly swear that I will loyally and faithfully execute with probity, impartiality, and independence the duties of public independence conciliator entrusted to me.
Officiating the swearing-in ceremony, Justice Helen Fonacho, Vice President of the Court of Appeal, reminded the pioneer public independent conciliator of her functions, top among protecting and defending the right of citizens, and to check the running of the council, settle dispute and report to the government, among others.
To conduct investigations on the functioning of regional land.
Madam Dorothy Motaze, the public independent conciliator of the region, on her part, says she is aware that expectations are high.
It is true that the times are really not the best, but I know I'm going to bring in that touch which a mother usually brings into the whole situation, because we know how to pamper and we know how to bring our children, our brothers, our husbands to reason.
And she is coming with an open door policy.
Eventually, when I have office space, the office will be wide open and I am ready to receive everybody in the office with no restrictions and no bottlenecks.
The swearing-in ceremony took place in the presence of Southwest Governor Bernardo Kaliabilai, who represented the government bench.
Derek Jotto reporting there, and we equally told you in our list story that three Christians of a church in Limbe, Southwest region of the country, who were kidnapped by unknown gunmen have been released. They were kidnapped after a long-standing land dispute between that church and a neighboring village. The senior pastor of the church came out of his shell to shed more light on the circumstances surrounding their kidnapping. Take a listen to him. He was interviewed by a Limbe-based correspondent, Davison Maimo.
Today we had our normal church service as usual, but between 12:45 and 1 p.m., the driver loaded the first set. As he just left the church building, just about 50 meters, they noticed stones on the road. So with their pure mind, they went down to remove the stones, and just about some few seconds, unknown gunmen just appeared and took the driver out. From what I gathered from what I was trying to negotiate for their release, that they were targeting but me, but unfortunately they got the driver and the driver, one pastor and one usher. The truth is that we had land dispute in that area. Police were around. From what the guy told me, that it was the opposite side I had land dispute with them, who came and reported me to them. In the site of La Republic, that's why I brought police, because actually police were in the church here, but I was not the one who brought the police, because I don't have the power to bring the police. The police were just executing the injunction that they kept violating. So I was not the one who brought the police. I explained to the guys that I don't have the power in the first place to bring a police, no gendarme, no military. But we thank God that at the end, the people were released, and the 600,000 they were demanding for, after proper explanation of the whole situation. But they were also charging me that I don't support the struggle. I also explained to them, as a pastor, I'm supposed to be neutral. So we reasoned together and the people were released. After this, I will continue to pray and believe in God that it's God who gave us a land, and we have built a church there. The kingdom of God is always on attack from the dark world, but light will always conquer darkness, so we'll be there. We are not planning to run away, we are not going anywhere, we are there. That's the house of God.
We're listening there to the senior pastor of Miracles Valley International Gospel Center. He is called Stemyong Derek, who was reacting there on the kidnapping of 3 of his church members by unknown gunmen recently, later released without paying the ransom demanded by separatist fighters or the gunmen. And now we talk something else. We're taking you now still in Limbe to talk how the councils in Limbe are facing this problem of water shortage, and some of the councils have now embarked on the construction of boreholes in order to meet the needs of the population who have been thirsty for several years. Davison Memo files in details.
Water everywhere, but nothing to drink. This is the true picture of Limbe, a city blessed with rivers, water sources, and the Atlantic Ocean. Yet, potable drinking water scarcity is gradually and steadily increasing.
Every day, the problem with all staff here is water. There is nowhere to carry water. Even water to wash dresses is a problem here.
We are moving up and down looking for water.
To cope with the situation, the water distributing company has engaged in the daily distribution of water to some neighborhoods with the use of tanks and water rationing.
The tap in front there, the public tap, sometimes we'll go, the tap is not even coming out.
We have been suffering for a long time problem with water.
It is in this light that councils in Limbe are now engaging in the putting in place of boreholes within its neighborhood to provide potable drinking water. At the Mukeba Farms quarter that covers Ambas Bay, Gardens, and part of Mbindi neighborhood with over 3,000 inhabitants, the populace appreciated the Limbe 1 Council to have provided a borehole to salvage the situation.
Now we solve at least 60% of our problem of water in this quarter, because we're about 3,000 inhabitants. I'm happy now with the government for what they have done.
If they can continue with this spirit like this, yes, so that the other quarters should have these qualities of water.
The mayor, Eposim Boye Florence, says the Limbe 1 Council intend to provide more boreholes to other neighborhoods.
In my program, we have other boreholes in other quarters. I think this borehole will go a long way to salvage the situation of this water problem.
Everything being equal,
The people of the seaside resort city of Limbe are looking up to the government of Cameroon to increase the volume of water supply within the city, especially as the city shall be hosting other nationals come next year for the African Cup of Nations.
We now move down to Limbe in the Mungu division of the Litowa region of the country, where locals protested barricading roads, accusing the local administrative authorities for the construction of poor drainage channels, reason why they often realize or experience floods, and they are blaming the authorities to be responsible. They were met by the senior divisional officer for the Mungu division, who assured them everything will be put in place in order to curb the situation. Details with Charles Ekome.
Inhabitants of the Ngoditu neighborhood in Mungu division of the Littoral region are decrying enormous material losses due to floods which have destroyed their homes. Some locals blame administrative authorities to be the cause of the floods because the drainage patterns and gutters put in place by council authorities were poorly constructed.
I'm very angry due to the water that they have directed from the road there. It has come and destroyed everything, destroyed even the houses of people. Look at the documents. My documents of farms, the birth certificate of the children. I'm even angry up to a level that I cannot even speak. I'm even angry. I'm too much angry. I cannot say anything. All I want to say is that they should direct the water where it has to go, not to come and destroy. This is the beginning of the season, the rainy season. It's too bad. When water come and destroy everything in people's houses, what do we gain?
Meantime, other locals say the situation has further deepened socio-economic problems, leading to intense hardship. We don't know where we are going to live. The heavy rains have destroyed all newly constructed gutters. I don't know which type of construction work was being done by the mayor and his council workers. Look at my home. There are maggots and garbage littered all over as a result of the floods. However, the divisional officer of Limbe, Pascal Zoua, descended on the field to evaluate the situation and promised to find long-lasting solutions to their problems. It is a regrettable scene to witness so many people who have lost their homes to this natural disaster. Reason why I have ordered for the identity of all inhabitants who have incurred material losses, so that we can know how to look into their respective situations. No matter the cause, I'm calling on the affected inhabitants to calm down so we can find solutions to their problems. Despite the wrath of the angry population who expressed their discontent vis-à-vis the situation, administrative authorities have promised to remedy the situation and improve the living conditions of inhabitants.
We stay in the Mungu division of the Litowa region to talk about the Konsamba 3 council building that has been vandalized by unknown individuals. This act has been condemned by the traditional ruler as well as the council authorities. Why was this new edifice vandalized by unknown individuals? Details or answer in this report with Malaglory.
The Konsamba 3 Council chambers was attacked for the second time by unknown men, ruining the ongoing project. Huge damages inflicted on the building, which prompted the visit of the traditional ruler of Bandits, a village under Konsamba 3 Council. His Majesty Christian Ewane, who visited the building site, condemned this vicious act.
Depuis qu'il y a eu ce vent de réception,
after the first attack, we took it lightly, but the second was so serious that we will need to take appropriate measures. This is a beautiful edifice which needs to be protected and encouraged, but we don't know why people of bad faith would destroy even what is meant for them.
Ça ne doit pas se passer comme ça.
Despite the visit of the divisional officer, Moni Inosang Nanje, and his collaborators, last Monday, the perpetrators came back. The building, which has been on project for a while now, but faced a lot of obstacles, is a frustrating situation to the inhabitants as the project come to develop the area. I received a call that the council of Konsamba 3 was attacked by unidentified men. I want to remind the inhabitants that this structure is for the good of the people of Konsamba. The mayor and his collaborators think that it is politically masterminded by her detractors to discredit her works. The mayor, however, is not ready to give up. I can't get discouraged. I am determined to complete this project, and I assure you that this will be done by August.
Début du mois d'août, nous allons occuper ce bâtiment.
C'est purement politique, mais nous cachons pas, nous voyons pas les yeux.
It is purely political, but it is not supposed to be because this is the people's heritage. One will think the individuals are coming to steal, but unfortunately it is not furnished, which implies that this is an act of jealousy. Meanwhile, investigations are open so that perpetrators will be brought to justice.
We now take you to the far north region of the country, notably in Maroua, where 4 alleged bandits have been arrested. They were presented to the public by security elements. The gang of young men with ages between 18 and 21 say they have assassinated and wasted several souls since they began in 2005. For me, Armstrong Sanda reports.
Dangwa Jakbe alias TDT considers assassination as his profession, which he has been practicing since 2005. 20 years old and arrested for assassination, Dangwang Jakbe is part of a gang of 4 that has fallen into the drag net of security officials of the Maroua Central Police Station in the far north region of Cameroon. Specialized in assassination and motorbike theft, Dangwang Jakbe and 2 of his accomplices seen here will kill their victims before taking away their motorcycles. At the time of their arrest, Dangwang Jakbe, 20 years old, Belbara Roland alias Bele, 21 years old, and Jean-Pierre Kouli, 18 years old, were in possession of 4 stolen motorcycles. The last 2 were stolen from a rider aged 20 and another aged 30 in Maroua. The victims were also assassinated, according to the hoodlums.
On travaille au chantier ensemble. Et on travaille au chantier ensemble. Des fois on buvait le vin ensemble.
While they were presented to the public in Maroua, one of them, Belbala Roland, denied being a member of the gang. Their arrest was thanks to a joint operation of the Judicial Police, the EC, and the Maroua Central Police Station.
That was for me, Armstrong Sanda, reporting there. And the gang of 4 alleged bandits dismantled in Maroua in the far north region of the country by security elements. And now, time to take you to the west region of the country, where the Kongso Bamongum Medical Center in Bafoussam 3 subdivision operates in deplorable conditions with a lack of potable water, an obsolete laboratory, a lack of drugs, and insufficient personnel. Dr. Fidel Kemta, one of the faithful personnel of this hospital during a come-together, geared at exposing the problems they face to pass that be noted clearly that there exists only 3 medics for a population of 10,000 inhabitants, whereas the World Health Organization recommends at least 7. Also, that the reopened hospital pharmacy lacks sufficient stock of drugs to cater for the large population size. Officials of the Bafoussam City Council have pledged to support as plus support to the Kongso Bamongum Health Center as well as other health facilities so that they meet the merited standards and aspirations of the people. Loveline Manuela Kwimi Miss Cameroon West Region via her project calls on all actors to assist these health centers such that more lives are saved and standard of living of women, children and men ameliorated. And that's it for the first part of this newscast. Up next, Talking Points. Good evening once again. You're welcome to Talking Points, second part of the 6 p.m. newscast, discovering our guest. We have Fon Achu Marion Anyo. She is Miss Northwest Cameroon 2021. She is our guest tonight. Good evening.
Good evening,
Miss
Innocent.
Northwest Cameroon 2021.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So tell us, how do you feel with the crown?
It's pretty much exhilarating. I'm really happy. I never really expected this. I never expected to go on this journey. Although it's something I've always envisaged, but I didn't expect a win. But in all, I am really grateful and happy.
And you tell me, how did the election go?
Okay, we registered sometime in December, and we were called on June 15th to be in Bafoussam by the 20th. So we went through a steps of screening, like 3 steps. Then we used Bafoussam first of all because we couldn't go to the Northwest region.
Exactly, just a question I wanted to ask. Yeah.
So yeah, because of the crisis, we couldn't go to Northwest region. So we just joined, West and Northwest as Ground West, and we did it in Bafoussam.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Congratulations, I must say.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of Equinoxe Television and the viewers.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You look pretty good there with the crown and.
Northwesterners never take last in class.
So you say.
Yes.
And now, as Miss Northwest Cameroon 2021.
Yes.
Tell us, what is your project? What do you have in mind? What do you have in mind to impact Cameroonians?
Okay. According to the theme of Miss Cameroon this year is La beauté au service de la santé. I decided to take up on.
Can you put that in English?
Yeah, beauty for health. I'm sorry, beauty for health. So I decided to take up breast cancer. What triggered this project in particular was due to my experiences and my encounters with people that have had breast cancer, and that it's kind of personal to me because my aunties did have it. 3 of my aunties, because it's kind of genetic in my family. So I was just 7 years old when the first one was diagnosed, and she had little or no knowledge about breast cancer. They asked her to cut her breast off. She refused. So she decided to, go to traditional doctors and stuff. So when the thing became extreme, she went to the hospital. It was so late. The second one, the same thing. She found out very late. The third one, the same thing. She found out very late.
That's quite unfortunate.
Exactly. And since I was a child, I saw them agonizing in pain. And my wish was, I don't want to see any woman or anybody go through the same pain. So that's why I said, okay, I believe this year was my year, because following the theme of Miss Cameroon this year, I think I could actually, stand as an advocate for something I know is personal to me, something I know I've lived with it. I know people, and so it's kind of personal. So that's why I decided to take up on it.
You said you don't want to see women.
Exactly.
Maybe face what your loved one went through.
Very true.
Can you say just women suffer from breast cancer?
No.
What about men? I think I learned men also.
Yes, men do also suffer from breast
cancer.
Yes, also stand a risk from suffering from breast cancer, but it's more prominent in women. Women are the ones that suffer the most. The amount of men, although men do suffer from breast cancer, and their chances of survival are even way lower than that of women, but women are the most affected. Probably in a million men, we can have like 2 men suffering that may suffer from breast cancer, but in a million people, we could have about 30,000 women that will suffer from breast cancer.
Many will be ignorant.
Exactly.
What causes this breast cancer?
Breast cancer, you cannot really attribute it to a particular cause, because there are so many risk factors of breast cancer. For example, you just being a woman is a risk factor. You can have cancer by just being a woman. Just the fact that you age, the fact that you're obese, you don't do sports, genetics as well. So you see, there are certain factors which you cannot actually prevent. But like I always say, we all know thieves can attack anytime. You get, but will you leave your door open? No, most definitely you will put a lock. Even if the thieves come and attack you, at least no, I tried my best.
And many will have breast cancer, but they will not know. Are there some symptoms? We have those at the rural level who will still have that, low level of education. They might not understand that they have cancer. Very true. What are the possible symptoms that when they detect, they know that this is breast cancer?
Yeah, like I say in Cameroon, the breast cancer is always detected at an advanced stage, and that's because many people are not aware. Cameroon is a third world country, so the income is very low. Like for example, chemotherapy, people that have breast cancer, the price of chemotherapy is very, very high, and even the average Cameroonian cannot even afford. And people in the rural area, since very few people actually go out to sensitize the population of breast cancer, check on your breast, do BSC, that's the basic self-examination, because that's actually the cheapest, I would say in quotes, the cheapest form of our own local mammography. Because if you want to go and do mammography in the hospital, it's going to be very expensive for the average Cameroonian.
So there was somewhere you talked about ways on how to maybe personally avoid breast cancer.
Yes.
How is it done?
You could actually, like I said, you could actually do it through a mammography. Mammography is a kind of X-ray simply for the breast. You get, but since like I'll say the average Cameroonian cannot afford for mammography, I go around sensitizing people on how to palpate their breast to feel for lumps. It's called,
what do you mean?
It's just rubbing, like dividing your breast into 4 quadrants like a pie, and you take your fingers and you massage. It's called palpate. You just turn clockwise direction to feel for lumps. And they also see other symptoms of breast cancer. If your nipple is inverted, if you realize there's a little, it's reddish. And also, because when the lumps come out, some people actually see it, whereas there are others that are really invasive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
Yes.
And that is a very effective, you say?
It's like there have been some controversies surrounding BSE, the breast self-examination, because there are some people that have the lumps and it's really embedded inside the breast, so no amount of palpation could actually detect it. You get, but it's just, you just have to just do the basics. You get, don't let it get to the end because you say BSCs don't work. There are actually controversies surrounding it, but this is the best we could afford. It's little, you need little or no money.
I attended one sensitization, on breast cancer, and they said, if you, the woman, you don't have the time to maybe massage the breast, I don't know how, just like you've explained.
Yeah.
You can call on maybe someone, even a man, or maybe your boyfriend or your husband to do that.
Yes, you must obviously call somebody you trust, because many women are also afraid of people palpating their breasts, because some people just abuse it, just go and start squeezing and touching, and it becomes quite uncomfortable. That's my main reason of going around sensitizing women, telling you, okay, this is the way the breast is supposed to be palpated. If you see somebody going and squeezing, no, that person is abusing you. So if you teach them how it's done and they cannot do it themselves, at least if they go to the hospital, they know, okay, no, you're supposed to touch my breast in quadrants. But if they see them doing it differently, yes, then there's definitely a problem.
Before we move to your project vision, just tell us more risk involved with someone who does not treat breast cancer. What are the risk factors? Okay,
the first one will be the physical pain. You will go through a lot of pain, even chemotherapy. Chemotherapy has a lot of side effects. You have running stomachs, headaches, and also the financial burden. The price of chemotherapy ranges for one session, ranges for 150,000 to 250,000. and you need at least 6 sessions, and in between those sessions you need to do tests, you need to ensure your lungs are okay and everything. So it's the physical pain and financial burden, not even only on yourself. Imagine those depending on their parents. You're just putting your parents or your family members under such financial burden, which I don't think.
For women, they have to cut the breast when the situation gets chronic, I think. What about men?
When it has not spread to the blood or the lymph nodes, the doctors are going to advise, especially if they see the lump, because most people, when the lump is found in their breast and they take out the lump, there's a high probability that the lump is going to reappear. So the doctors will always advise they cut the breast off.
Is it the same case with the man?
Yes, the same case with the man. They just,
how would they cut?
Because
men already have a flat chest.
No, they have a flat, but they're just going to cut the surrounding tissue, everything around it. They cut it off to prevent it from recurring.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Now, let's focus a little bit on your project vision.
Yeah.
What is the vision surrounding your chosen project, breast cancer? What is that vision that you have for the nation?
Yeah. Actually, I do envisage ideally a breast cancer-free society, and I also aim to maximize my support to those being affected by breast cancer. Like I said, ideally, because you can definitely not cut off breast cancer completely, but I will try my best to reduce the mortality rate.
How are you going to do that?
By, sensitizing the population.
So sensitizing?
Yeah, because actually breast cancer awareness means providing the people with knowledge about this disease. Like in Cameroon, many people die of breast cancer due to ignorance. They just know that, it can never happen to me. Anyway, it's just cancer. It can never happen to me. So if I go around sensitizing the population like I did on Saturday, July 3rd, I had a group of people come. I even had somebody who called me that, she saw my flyer. She's suffering from cancer and she would like to, educate people since she is actually going through it. So it was a life-changing experience. Like I said, many people did not even know how to palpate their breast, and we taught them. It was more than amazing.
Many are also dying because they lack the financial support.
Yes.
Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Is there no way you can assist in that light?
Like I stand here to advocate for the subsidization of chemotherapy, because the average Cameroonian cannot afford. How many of us can afford 200,000 for a session? Kidney patients undergoing dialysis. I remember dialysis used to be very expensive back in the days, but it has been subsidized. The price of a session of dialysis is like 5,000 francs now. Exactly. Before it used to be 150,000. So why the discrepancy with breast cancer? So my aim is just to advocate for the subsidization of chemotherapy. The price of chemotherapy. So,
what are some of the goals that you expect after carrying out this project? What are your goals?
The goals are planned on achieving.
Yeah.
Yes. By bringing a group of people together, sensitizing them, and also doing a walk for health, because part of the preventive measures of breast cancer is remaining healthy. So I also intend on going to orphanages, educating the girl child. I intend on going to Jangi houses, because most Jangi houses, we have women, the elderly women, mostly of the ages of 40 to 45. That's the vulnerable group. Between that age, there's a high chance that you will have breast cancer. So me going there and educating them can actually, even if there's a lump, just by them gaining the knowledge from me, they could go to the hospital, get the mammography done, and treatment begins immediately.
There's one thing concerning this issue of maybe testing if you have breast cancer in our society.
Yes.
Most people, it's not about ignorance, but the fact that most young girls are shy of maybe testing or going about all this to know if they have breast cancer or not. How do you advise concerning that the young girls are safe?
No, the young girls are definitely not safe. It can affect even 12-year-olds. Breast cancer can affect 12-year-olds. Like I earlier said, it is lack of knowledge. if I come and I sensitize you, because many of them, they don't even know what breast cancer is about. If I come and tell you that this, it can affect you, it can affect anybody around you. Nobody is, resistant to breast cancer. Everybody. So I'll just try my best to encourage you. Don't be shy. This is about your health. It's about your life. It's about your future. Even if you want me to come and palpate your breast, I'll do it myself. But I'm going to try to, make you being bold to freely express yourself.
And some are in hospitals. Have you been in any hospital maybe to talk about this breast cancer, or try to maybe give support to those who are in the hospital with breast cancer?
Not yet, but I plan on visiting the Cameroon Oncology Center in Bikoko on the 17th of July. So I plan on going there with my team and also, offering them gifts, to show them my support and let them know they are not on this journey alone. I'm with them 100%.
Wow, that was so great, a very rich project. Just give us your last words to Cameroonians, to men, women, young girls about this breast cancer. What advice are you to give them? You look at the camera and you talk to them. Miss Northwest Cameroon 2021.
The advice I would love to give all young women and the young girls: nobody is immune to breast cancer. Breast cancer affects anybody, despite your age, your class, anything. So please get yourself checked. Breast cancer is a killer disease. It kills like crazy. Please do well to get yourself checked. And in case you need any form of help, you could contact us, you could contact me, and I'm going to direct you, even if you need assistance or support in screening, or if you're suffering from the disease already. I am willing to help. You are not on this journey alone. I am with you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Miss Northwest Cameroon 2021.
Yes.
From Achu Marion Anyo. From
Bafuchu/Womb, sir. Northwest region.
Wow, so nice having you tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Innocent. God bless you.
And God bless you too. And you have a wonderful project. May God guide you in that.
Thank you very much, Innocent.
And that's it for this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thanks so much for watching. Tomorrow is another day. Have a nice evening.